Hi guys, in this video I cover variables. I talk about declaration, data types, assignment, and initialization. Variables are used to store data in a program. So for each value that we want to store, we have to create a new variable. Variables are created with a declaration. And the declaration starts with a data type followed by an identifier. And this is a statement, so it ends with a semicolon. To give you a better example, let's say we create a variable that can store a value of a whole number. So it will be of data type int, short for integer, and then number, followed by a semicolon. What this will do is it will allocate memory and enough memory to store a single integer. And integer is typically 32 bits long. So I put this up here. So this is kind of what it looks like in memory. We have this memory location. There's currently nothing in it. We don't really know what's in it, so I put a question mark in it. But we can always access it and refer back to it with the identifier that we gave it, in this case, number. Now, this was one data type. There are more than one. So for example, we could also specify float. And I call this value, for example. This would create another memory location. So allocate memory for a new value of type float. There's also the data type char, which is for character. So that's a single character. It could be A, B, a question mark, the dollar sign, hashtag, any single character. It could also be a character of type number, for example, 5. Note that when you put 5 in a character, it is not an integer, so it wouldn't be used for arithmetic operations, for example. And characters are always single quotes. So give you some example, lowercase a, uppercase K, I mentioned hashtag, could be 5, and so on. So single quotes, a single character. Now let's take a look at assignment or initialization in this case. So an assignment is or starts with the identifier, then a single equal sign, and then the value that we want to store in that variable. For example, number equals 5. This will take the value 5 and store it in the number variable. So up here, this will now hold 5. Or for floating point would be value equal 3.5, for example. This is a floating point number, so we do have the decimal point followed by a fraction. And letter. Now we cannot put just, for example, uppercase R, because this would be again an identifier. So the compiler would search or look for a variable named uppercase R. So we have to put single quotes and put the R. This would then store R in the variable letter. Now I mentioned here, or I wrote down in parentheses, initialization. This is an initialization because these values have not been initialized yet. That means we have not assigned any value to them so far. So number, we declared it, but we didn't put a value in it. So this one initializes the variable to 5. This statement here initializes the variable value to 3.5. And the last one initializes the value letter to uppercase R. Now we can also combine the two. We can write declaration and initialization in a single statement. For example, int number 2 equals 15. Here we declared a new variable that allocates memory for a single integer, and we refer to it with the identifier number 2. Sometimes this identifier is also referred to as variable name. And then we initialize it to 15. So number 2 will now store the integer value 15. We can do that with any data type. So for example, f2 equals 1000 or 1099, and character char equals, let's say, a $sign. Now, so far we have looked into how we can assign values and how we can initialize variables. Let's see how we can update variables. And again, we use an assignment. So this one is to update a variable. So here goes number equals 20, for example. Now, so far, number here that we declared up here, we initialized to 5, so it stores 5. Now we update the value with an assignment to 20. So this will replace 5 with 20. And now number will hold the value 20. We can also update a variable with the value of another variable. So for example, let's say number2 equals number. What this will do is it will take the value that's stored in number, which is 20, copy the value over to number2. So now number2 holds 20 and number holds 20. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you have a better understanding what variables are used, how we can declare them, how we can pick the data types. You always want to assign the appropriate data type to the value that you plan to store in it. And you know how to manage these variables, how you can read the value like I showed up here and how you can update the values. If you want to know how you can output a value to the console or how you can read a value from the console, please check out my other videos on input and output. Thank you for watching.